Welcome everybody to Curated. My name is Patrick Graham and I'm a ski expert at Curated.com. And today I'm talking to Olympic free skier and X Game gold medalist Maggie Voisin.
Hello, everyone.
I guess something extremely exciting that you're prepping for are the upcoming Olympic Games in Beijing. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I am so excited. It's hard to believe that it's already been 4 years since the last Olympics. It's truly flown by, and yeah, it was fun to have a Summer Olympics, kind of back to back. Unfortunately for those athletes, to be pushed back a year would be super challenging, but it was motivating to just watch an Olympics going, and now we're headed into a Winter Games, so I am super excited, and like I said, I'm just looking forward to winter and everything that it has to offer. And no, it's going to be a good season.
For sure. How do you mentally prepare for something that is that far away?
Yeah, that's a really wonderful question because this summer I was like, okay, like we're still like half a year away. And then, now that it's fall, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, it's close. It's really close. And yeah, like you said, it's a really wonderful question. And I feel like for me, and this is something that I've had to learn throughout my entire career, was just kind of it's a more mature mindset that, the Olympics are coming, but if for me personally, if I'm stressed about the Olympics or worried about making the Olympics, or maybe even excited, like I just need to put one foot in front of the other.
Now that it's getting closer and we're getting closer, I would like to talk to you a little bit more about but right before any event, like what are you doing
hmm
to mentally prepare for something that is so important to you?
I take the same approach to any event, and no matter if it feels, one feels bigger or smaller, I try to just like, kind of keep it's easy to say, like I get super nervous for X Games because I love X Games. Probably more nervous than I would for a World Cup, let's say. But I try to really just keep the same mindset going into each event. Um, no matter what training looks like, or if I'm loving a course or not, and maybe the weather's been bad, like in training, I always just try to take advantage of what I can. Let's say, like I mentioned, if weather's not that great, well, I can at least focus on the rails. This weather might not be great, but how can I make the most of this training? And that might roll into the contest as well. Um, and then kind of like preparation night before. Um, I'm really into mindfulness. So I love to like journal the night before a contest. I don't know, just write everything out on paper. It's different every time that I journal, but that's something that I've been doing for the past several years, and it's kind of a fun thing to look back on as well. Um, and then, say I'm in the start gate or the training right before the event, I'm really focusing on just my breath and kind of where my heart rate is at, and where I'm at mentally. And like I said, trying to get back to kind of like level. So I do a lot of like no specific breath work, but really just sometimes focusing on my breath when I feel like I need to bring myself down a little bit. And then every time before I drop in for a run, I take a deep breath, and then on my exhale, I drop in. So.
That's cool. That got me just like in your mindset there. That's amazing. I'm really wondering what this song, like, what's a song that will get you, level you out, not pump you up too much, because I picture when I'm seeing athletes like yourself at the starting gate,
Uh-huh.
I'm just picturing like the most like pump up music that's out there. So what do you got in those headphones?
Like you said, some people have to really like they're up there pumping themselves up, and I love that. I'm not someone who's up there like, oh my gosh, like not just like thinking nothing, trying to feel nothing. But for me, I just have to like really be chill. And I'm up there and I'm cheering on all the other girls. Like that's the best part about what I get to do is the camaraderie within the sport. So I'm up there and pumped up, but I'm not like, well, let's go, like crazy, crazy. Um, and I actually don't listen to music when I ski. I'm
Okay.
one of few. A lot of people within my sport, they like to have music in. It's like a good distraction for them, or it just, like I said, gets them in the mood. But I personally, like, I need to hear my skis on the snow and my skis on the rails. And I kind of, yeah, I've always been that way. I've tried to ski with headphones a couple times and it has not gone well. And maybe that's kind of my superstition. I'm like, no music.
No, I get that too. It's good to hear you're out there and you're skiing and be able to hear the sounds of that your activity's making, I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, for me, that's just the best way for me to get into like a flow state, or to feel my best. Yeah. Music is almost too much of a distraction for me where I need to be, like I said, it's I focus on my breathing and funny stuff like that.
There are a lot of a lot of younger athletes that are really aspiring to be where you are, or they want to grow up and, compete and compete in the Olympics or be in Olympic Games, what advice would you have for somebody that's aspiring to do that?
The number one piece that I would really I feel like it's something that I would go back and tell my younger self was to really just focus on myself and what I need to do and what's best for me. It's so easy to get caught up on what is this person doing? What is that person doing? And remember why you started the journey or why you're in this sport and focus on you and what you need and remember why you do what you do. And always come from a place of passion and love and the sky's the limit.
What is that reason? Why did you first get into it?
Well, I grew up in Whitefish, which it's a growing ski town now, but it's still a small ski town in northwest Montana, and skiing is just what my family did. My dad moved here when he was 25 years old because he wanted to be a ski bum. So it's skiing's just in my blood, and I grew up skiing here with all of my family, but mostly my two brothers, Tucker and Michael. I remember my first day on the freestyle team here in Whitefish, a little local team. I I just absolutely fell in love. Like, I can vividly remember that first day and how much I loved it and how fun it was. And then I also too my brother was way better than me, and I was like, "Dang it, like, I wanna be doing what he's doing." So from just kind of the beginning, like I said, I just remember falling in love with it from the very, very, very beginning.
That is, it's good advice to your younger self. It's good advice to me and to everyone for anything we do, I think, as well. It's good to
Well, thank
realign
you.
and focus on that for sure. And maybe I need to start breathing before I do these interviews because I
Deep
was nervous
breaths.
myself. I need to focus on my breath.
Yeah, no, breath work is cool. I've actually gotten into like different types of breath work. I'm not like crazy about it. I don't do it every day. I have a friend who does like kind of a somatic breath work. And then my boyfriend, he's really into the Wim Hof, if anyone's heard of the Wim Hof method, which is a lot of breath work. And then you also do cold water therapy, which we actually did this morning. He dragged me down. I hate cold water. He dragged me down. We did 10 minutes of the Wim Hof breathing on the beach here at Whitefish Lake. And then we cold plunged for 3 minutes. And it's like intense, but it's so amazing. And the benefits for your body are incredible.
Do you ever like tap back into that? And, if you're getting out there, just if you're not training or whatever training may look like to you
Hmm.
in the opposite way, are you getting out there and free skiing, or how are you kind of tapping back into that mentality?
As much as I possibly can, I will be out free skiing. I even love just ripping groomers, putting on a pair of skis that actually have some edges and ripping groomers. I love all of it. And then when I get to come home for the holidays, it's even, like, more special. I try to ski almost every day, and I'm just up on the mountain, like, feeling like I'm a little kid again, going through the trees, all these runs that I grew up taking. And then, yeah, I'm also really into backcountry skiing, and I just bought a snowmobile, so when I can, I try to get out into the backcountry and just ski pow or, you know, trying to open up those doors a little bit more for myself in my career too. But any and all skiing, I love it.
It's been awesome talking to you here, and you definitely make me want to do better and be better and eat better. And I'm not just saying that. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. This was a really, really fun conversation, and yeah, it got me fired up to have a good season too. So thank you.
If you liked learning about Maggie and her journey, subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more interviews this winter season.